One of the great things about being a member of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee is that we're able to meet a lot of people who change the world. But we're also very fortunate because we meet people who change ourselves as human beings as well. And two of those who have done the most impact on me and my colleagues the last year is definitely Kiana and Ali Rahmani. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
First, I have to say, welcome back to Norway, once again. You have visited several times since you accepted the Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of your mother. But let's begin with December of last year. How did you experience those intense days during the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony? And how has your life changed since?
C'est vrai que l'expérience de Nobel.
Yes, that's true. It's been a unique experience for us.
It's okay, I can wait. Everyone is ready?
Yes.
Perfect. Donc.
So, as I was saying, the Nobel experience was a very special one. And I had completely forgotten on the day the prize was announced that that was the actual day. I wasn't expecting it at all, I must say. But there was a very emotional moment. I think during the actual process, we met a lot of children. I think it was here at the center. We met children, and it was really beautiful to meet so many children, children from all over the world who actually were living together, talking, sharing, loving life. And I must say I was very touched by that, because that's what I'm hoping for in the world. Frankly, the Nobel Peace Prize has changed, I would say, our approach, because we're now stronger, but our lives haven't changed that much. Yeah. What's been good for us, what's made our life richer, I would say, it's been seeing those children living together. This living together concept is really very important to us. And what really was important to me is one boy I saw saying bonjour, one saying hello, one saying salam alaikum. And I'm thinking it's very interesting to see that they're all together, they're all living together. And I think that's really what's been most important to me. And then our lives, have they changed? Well, not really. But our approach has changed, Kiana's and mine.
You have been back since, and one of these occasions was this summer. You were working as guides here at the Nobel Peace Center for the exhibition about your own mother and other political prisoners in Iran. How was that?
C'était notre. Déjà avant tout, c'était notre.
Well, it was our first job, I have to say. And I wasn't expecting it to be that good for a first job. It was perfect. I was stressed out, obviously. We had to speak English. That was hard. And I must say that, French people don't really learn other languages so well. So, it was tough. So Ali and me, we're a bit stressed about that. But, of course, yeah, France is a beautiful country, but that's an issue, I guess. So our English is not really up to par. So we had to learn a bit. But I think, honestly, it went well. And what I liked was seeing so many people interested, so many people asking questions, so many people interested, because, I've been to a couple of museums, and when guides were talking, other people were talking amongst them, were not really interested. But here, people were really fascinated, interested, and I thought that was beautiful. People were worried about other people's lives. So, yeah, best first job ever. Same thing for me, I'd say. Very, very nice experience. See people from different horizons who are really sensitive to our cause. I saw Chinese people, Russian people, Afghan people, Brazilian people, people from all over the world really who came. And I think the most important thing to me, the best moment, I'd say, is when the guided tour was over and people came up to us and talked to us about their life, their experience. We had to present something, but people came to us and we made friends, really, with some of those people. There was really a friendship moment, I'd say, a moment of sharing, and I think that was really the most important thing to us. Of course, I went back to learn some English, but there's a bit of work to do. We wouldn't have spoken French otherwise. We still have some progress to make.
Each other outside of the program, you definitely speak great English.
Thank you.
But this is not the only work you've been doing for the last couple of months. You have also definitely worked with the Narges Foundation. Can you tell us a bit about the Narges Foundation and what role you will have in it?
Alors, la fondation de Narges Mohammadi.
Yes, the Narges Mohammadi Foundation, our mom's foundation, will be launched soon. Unfortunately, as you all know, our mother is not here. She's in prison, in Evin prison. And I think it's Kiana's and my responsibility to handle, to manage the foundation. But that's just a title. I think, on a personal level, that what will be important is talk about Iran, my mother, our struggle. The Nobel Peace Prize is not just a trophy. I think it's really a tool. And those who have the Nobel Peace Prize need to use that tool. I really want my mother to be able to manage the foundation. I hope she can be the voice of her own struggle, of Iranians' struggle generally. And I really hope that with the Iranian diaspora, we can work for freedom, for democracy in Iran.
Donc, pour nous, finalement, rien.
So I don't think anything is going to change, apart from the fact that we'll have a lot more work, which is really a pleasure. It's not work as such, it's activism. And I know other people who are here know exactly what I mean by activism. So we will focus on three things, basically. Human rights, and women's rights in particular, of course. And then a second pillar that's important for democracy, civil society. If you have a strong civil society, if you have children who can live together, play together, even if they come from different places, well, then you have a strong democratic tool. That will be the second pillar. And if you look at the third pillar we're working on, I think it will be the environment, really. We all know it. Of course, it's good to fight for democracy. It's good to fight for LGBTQ communities, for women, for freedom. But of course, if we forget this little detail that is the environment, well, there will be nothing left in 50 years to fight for. And then there's one other aspect. LGBTQ communities, we know that in Iran their situation is horrendous, and we are thinking about including their struggle as a fourth pillar in our foundation. And we will strive to be the voice of the Iranian people and try to really have as many people as possible know about our struggle as well.
Can I ask you, in the next couple of months, you're turning 18. How will that affect being part of the Narges Foundation, but also how do you see yourselves, as you say, as activists, then as a not just as a youth, but as a grown-up?
Oui, bah, comme je dis, c'est vraiment pas du tout.
Well, of course, it's not work, as I said. I think this is really something we want to continue with, something we want to do.
Of the foundation and the coalition, why is it important to do it now?
Non, tout de suite. Eh bien, dans un premier temps.
Well, we want to continue to be our mother's voice, as I said, so I'd like to thank all those who have worked for the coalition. Thank you to all actors who are actually fighting for my mother to be freed. If I want to be honest, I think the most important thing, as always, is really to have as many people as possible conscious of what we're doing, who know about our struggle. There's a lot of administrative work still to do, unfortunately, so we're a bit delayed. But in December, everything will be ready. You can be sure about that. Thank you.
How challenging will it be to manage the foundation without being able to communicate directly to your mother?
Alors oui, complètement. Ne pas pouvoir communiquer avec notre mère.
Of course, that's really tough, not being able to communicate with our mother. That's really a struggle because she is the actual boss of the foundation, of course, as I explained, but she is in prison and she can't do anything. She is really fighting from Iran, from the prison. She continues her fight, and at an enormous cost, of course, but she wants to keep that symbol. She is in Evin prison. It's a prison that is well known for having political prisoners, for destroying them psychologically, and for her it's an important symbol to continue the fight. She is really at the center of the resistance. That is thanks to our mother and, of course, other prisoners as well. For us, there will be challenges, of course. We need to be able to handle this, manage the foundation, and also go to school. Kiana will come back to that, and that, of course, will be a challenge for us.
But as you said, your mother is still very active, and she's also managed to smuggle out a message for this conference. Will you read it to the audience?
Yes, of course.
Juste avant de commencer, je sais que ma mère...
Before starting, I know that my mother hasn't written that as such. Me, my brother, and my father, we live in France. She wants us to thank France for having welcomed us, for having given us the chance to go to school and being free. So thank you. Thank you to France and to everyone who has welcomed us there. My grandmother on my father's side has helped us enormously. And thank you to France generally. I know that my mother thinks that, but she doesn't write it so much.
Pouvoir de défiance.
The power of women's defiance in Iran is inspiring. It has been 2 years since the killing of Mahsa Amini and the beginning of the Woman Life Freedom movement. Everything I need to explain can be summed up in one brief sentence. Nothing is the same as before. What do I mean by before? I mean in relation to the beginning of the movement. This is about a fundamental change on a vast and comprehensive scale. The Woman Life Freedom movement did not happen suddenly or by chance. Rather, it is the continuation of historical struggles and democratic movements of the people of Iran. However, the events and developments brought about by this movement have indeed accelerated the process and created a significant, historic, and meaningful leap toward democracy, freedom, and equality. The world witnessed the street killings of protesters, arrests, imprisonments, torture, and executions of those who rose up against the authoritarian religious government. The resistance was tough. The Islamic Republic, through violence and repression, cleared the streets of protesters. But the outcome of these developments is significant and in favor of democracy. In this fierce struggle, we have succeeded in raising the power of women's defiance and the protest authority to the level of collective and historical consciousness. The increase in the rhythm of defiant action over the past 2 years has made the Iranian people's transition from an authoritarian religious government clear and evident. The power of women's defiance against misogynistic and discriminatory laws, traditions, religious rituals, and the moral values imposed by authoritarian, inhumane, and reactionary ideologies has been growing and expanding. This is why the government has even lined up women for execution. They were unaware that we are not afraid of execution. You hear these days about Pakistan, and you hear about Sharifi, who have been sentenced to death. You hear about Nassim and Varisha, who are at risk of death penalty. I will stand by them and fight against executions. We will not give up on justice and freedom. We will not surrender love, femininity, and motherhood to the hands of the monstrous religious despotism. We will live. We will kiss the sun, and we will fill the world with vitality and hope. We will win. Narges Mohammadi, Women, Life, Freedom.
Just one thing, I can say one thing. Sorry everyone, my English is very, very bad, but for me it's very important to say some things. I met now today a very good person, and I am very happy to see you, a lot of person. I can see activists, people who are arrested, imprisoned, people who are obligated to escape his country, and just I want to say thank you for coming in and thank you for your work. And I hope in the ending we can win our fight, because the democracy and the freedom, it's for all. Thank you. And thank you for coming here. Ready.